First of all, your path is interesting.
Yeah.
It could take hours, but walk us through exactly everything you've gone through.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start from the beginning of my football career. I played my first season of high school football in the state of Washington, and then halfway through my freshman year of high school, I actually moved to Texas. And then from there, I enrolled early at the University of Miami in spring of 2017. I spent 3 seasons there, and then I played the past 2 seasons at Colorado State, and then I transferred here in January, and now I'm here. So
All those moves difficult. I would think for a high school kid picking up and leaving that was tough, but you've done it in college too.
yeah, I'd say my childhood prepared me for all the moves I've had to make. My family's been very supportive, honestly, so it hasn't been that bad. But growing up, my dad, he would change jobs a lot, trying to better my family's position. So yeah, moving is nothing new to me, and I actually kind of enjoy it because I go to new places and I meet new people. So yeah, it's what brought me here, and I'm just happy to be here.
What was it about here that you liked and kind of, your fit and everything?
I would say it's a mixture. I mean, a mixture between the coaches, the other players here, and then all of the, I guess, the amenities they have to offer. I'd say the biggest thing is all of the recovery technology that we have here, because I've been at schools and I've been at places where, yeah, we have like cold tubs and all that good stuff. But here, I mean, with Coach Mike in the weight room, it's a whole new emphasis on getting your body right and ready to play every day instead of having to fight through fatigue and, always having something hurting. He's more geared towards getting your body right every day so you can perform to the best of your ability.
Brian, what's your dad do?
What job does he have?
He's been on the management side of many things. He worked at UPS for 20 years when I was growing up. He started as a security guard and then worked his way up. So he's a very hardworking man. And then in recent years, he's been managing different recycling operations. So I know he's living in Alabama right now, actually. So
Hardworking sounds kind of like what your college position has to be, right? It's been a long time since you caught a pass.
Yeah.
But here you are because you do something that is coveted too, and it's not a glory position. How have you kept your head on straight through all those years and injuries and not a lot of glory stuff where it's touchdowns and first downs and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just my love for football, honestly, because growing up, it was my dad, actually. He wouldn't let me play football. He always raised me to be a pitcher. I'm left-handed, so he's like, okay, well, he's going to be tall. He's strong. Let's get him pitching. So I played baseball all the way until high school, and then my mom was the one, when we moved again to the Seattle area, she was like, let's get him into football and see how he does so he can make some friends. So I started playing football. I really liked it, and then believe it or not, I was like, okay, I'm done with baseball. I just want to play football. So, yeah, my dad, he was like, okay, well, you have the frame for a tight end. You want to play that? So I was like, okay. And then I just kind of got to working on that. And then, yeah, ever since then, I just put my head down. And then my goal has always been to be the best tight end I can be and play football as long as I can play it. So regardless of whether it's a knee injury or a minor like ankle injury, whatever setback I've encountered, I've always just pushed on and kept moving. So.
Your mom wanted you to play football. Did you see the way they don't want you to play, right?
Yeah, I thought people always laugh at me for that because it's like, oh, it's always your dad that wants you to play football. No, my mom, I've never been like the guy to have 100 friends, but I've always had like a couple good friends. So football has definitely given me a lot of good friends. And yeah, my mom, she could kind of tell that I needed to get out some energy when I was younger. So.
Brian, your rep is as a blocker. First of all, is that something you feel you do well? And then do you feel you're improving your pass catching?
Yeah, absolutely. So I played my varsity football at Guyer High School in Texas, and we were more of a play-action, run-heavy offense. So that's where I got most of my development, was run blocking, and all my catches would be off of play-action. So then when I got to college, it was more drop-back game, quick game, and that's the part of my game that really had to develop. And I've played with and behind a lot of good tight ends in my career, some NFL draft picks. So yeah, it's definitely part of my game that's had to slowly progress over the years. And I have had some setbacks with injuries, but I think now I'm primed and ready to just prove what I can do and show all the growth that I've had throughout my career, and then just make it happen this year.
What was it that sold you on football? Was it the physicalness of it? Was it the mental side? Was it the camaraderie? Was it having a coach yell at you? I mean,
I'd say a little bit of everything, but most especially the camaraderie. I mean, I don't know, like, football, it's not a fun game if you're not playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're training in the off season, when you're waking up at 5 a.m. every day, when you're lifting, when you're running, all that stuff, it's not fun. But what is fun is going out there with your brothers and on Saturdays in a stadium like this and just putting it all on the line. So that's what it is for me, is just putting it all out on the line for everyone to see, and then doing it with the guy next to you. Because after you go through everything together, it's a pretty beautiful thing when you come out on top.
baseball too much standing around?
Yeah, too many sunflower seeds, too much bubble gum, all that stuff.
So when they made the recruiting pitch here for you, what was it they were telling you? What sold you on becoming a Mountaineer?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, I would say it made the most sense for me, honestly, because I've been in systems probably the past 3 seasons that were going to keep me in the same role that I've been in. And here I saw the opportunity to become more of a complete player. And I think that's what I was looking for more than anything when they recruited me to come here.
So expound on that a little bit more. So the role you've been in, so I assume that means blocking only?
Blocking more than running routes. So I just want to be more of a balanced player to prove that I can do whatever I need to do. And I saw that on film. And yeah, that's what made me come here.
So you've lived everywhere. I mean, Northeast, Texas, Colorado, Miami, West Virginia. I don't know if it's your first time here, but what do you think? Are you adapting to West Virginia?
Yeah, absolutely. I got my driver's license here because I had to update it, so I'm technically a citizen. But yeah, my first time in West Virginia was when I moved here. So I just packed all my stuff up in a U-Haul, and then I towed it out here. And yeah, I've loved every minute here. So I'm very happy to be here. I know the people of the state have a lot of pride in being from West Virginia, and yeah, I'm proud to say that I live here. So it's a great place. I love it here. Yeah.
How long of a drive is that?
It took me a couple hours. Yeah, I drove from Fort Collins, and then I did it in 2 days. I took a pit stop in St. Louis, and then, yeah, I think it was like -5 degrees when I left Fort Collins. And then, yeah, it was pretty interesting driving with all my stuff in the car. But, yeah, I made it here safely. And then when I got here, it was snowing again. And then I'd never seen hills like we have here. But, yeah, it was pretty cool once I got here.
So
Okay, anything else for Brian?
when guys complain about cold and snow, we were just talking to Lee, and he was in Syracuse, so he's used to it. You say that you should be in Colorado. This is nothing.
Yeah, it's just different there. I mean, the altitude is one thing, but then once you add the element of the cold, it's pretty interesting. Because I think the coldest day we had there, we had a winter workout last spring where with wind chill was like -18. And I don't know if that's illegal, but we were out there. And then
So you're outside, there's no indoor facility that you...
we had an indoor, but Coach Adazio, he was big on toughness and not letting the elements get to us. So we embraced it, and then we were out there working out. So
Some of the tight ends you mentioned, I think a lot of people think Miami, right? But
Yes.
McBride.
Trey McBride,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, a lot of fun playing that position. I'm guessing that's kind of what you envisioned.
Yeah.
What was like watching him last year, and kind of it sounds like you saw what that position could be, like, you know, a guy who could run around and do stuff too.
Yeah.
Did that influence like what you were looking for this time around?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Trey's probably one of the most gifted athletes I've ever been around. I mean, he's freakishly strong. He's a smart football player, great player. He's an even better friend. But yeah, I've tried to emulate him ever since I got here. Just looking back on my time with him and everything that he did, He's always a guy putting in extra work. He was always a guy who was coachable and played every down as if it were his last down. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be like Trey. I mean, I think everyone should. So, yeah, he's a great player.